Have you ever felt stuck in time? Like you're trapped in the same place while everyone else's life seems to move forward? I have, and I can tell you there's nothing more distressing than that feeling of stagnation. But there's something no one tells you. The universe doesn't need you to be ready, it just needs you to move. And when you take that first step, even a small one, it's like everything around you begins to rearrange itself. For a long time, I waited. I waited to feel more confident. I waited to have more money. I waited to feel more loved, more prepared, more right. But the more I waited, the more stuck I felt. It was like living in a constant state of almost. Almost started that project. Almost said what I felt. Almost chose myself. Until one day, tired of waiting, I took a step. Just one. And it was enough to ignite something inside me. I didn't know exactly where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay where I was anymore. And that was the turning point. What if I told you that manifestation begins right there? Not when you have everything figured out, but when you choose to trust before seeing the whole path. That's what true positive thinking is. That's what it means to align with the law of attraction. Standing still is exhausting, strange, isn't it? Because in theory, we're not doing anything. But in practice, the mind is racing, thinking about everything that's not working, comparing ourselves to everyone else, creating 1,000 imaginary scenarios that haven't even happened. And that built up, misdirected energy starts turning into weight in the body, in the mind, in the heart. I've found myself in that place many times, lying on the couch, my head spinning in circles, each thought like a rope pulling me down deeper. And you know what I realized? The absence of movement gives room for doubt to take over. When you don't act, you feed doubt. But when you take that first step, you create clarity. I still remember the first time I consciously tried using the law of attraction. I was feeling terrible, emotionally drained, lost. But even so, I sat down, took a deep breath, and wrote on a piece of paper, I choose to leave this state. I choose to take a step. It wasn't a magic phrase, and I wasn't in the best mood. But it was enough. That same day, I got a call from a friend inviting me for coffee. The conversation was light. I felt heard, supported. It might seem like a coincidence, but to me, it was the universe saying, thank you for moving. Here's my response. There's a fundamental principle in manifestation. The universe responds to your vibration, not to your complaints. And when you decide to move, you shift your vibration. You exit the frequency of fear and enter the frequency of intention. And that changes everything. You may not see it right away. The outer world might look the same, but inside you, a seed has been planted. And that seed, when nurtured with consistency, becomes clarity, becomes opportunity, becomes alignment. Let me offer you a simple exercise that helped me a lot on heavy days. Choose a symbolic action. It could be making your bed, showering mindfully, or walking without your phone. Before you do it, say to yourself, this is my step. Today, I move toward my new reality. Do the action with presence. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that it's your choice. This kind of movement sends a clear message to the universe. I'm ready to shift my frequency. And when your frequency shifts, manifestation activates. Do you know what belief sabotages our progress the most? I need to feel good before I can start. That sentence is dangerous because it traps you in an endless cycle. You wait to feel motivated before acting, but motivation only shows up after you act. In other words, movement comes before motivation, and it's not easy to accept that. I spent months waiting to feel better, until I realized that the feeling of better only came when I allowed myself to take that first step even while still feeling off. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts that positive thinking can bring. It's not about denying what you feel. It's about refusing to let it define what you do. You may have read all the books on the law of attraction. You may have watched every motivational video out there. You might even know all the manifestation techniques by heart. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. Because knowledge without action is just information. And transformation only happens when you apply it. That's why, throughout this video, I want you to commit to just one thing. Apply at least one idea. Just one. And if it makes sense, apply another tomorrow, and then another, until it becomes part of who you are. Maybe this has happened to you. After finally making a decision, even a tiny one, it feels like the universe starts sending signs, messages, people, videos, random quotes that feel like they were made just for you. That's not your imagination, it's synchronicity. And synchronicity is the universe saying, keep going. You're on the right path. But signs only come to those who are moving. Because the universe doesn't respond to inertia. It responds to intentional action. So tell me, if all you need to start changing your life is a single step, what's stopping you right now? In the next section, I'll show you how to stay consistent even on days when you feel like doing nothing. How to keep your vibration high, even when the world feels heavy. And most importantly, how to turn movement into a way of living and manifestation into your new reality. Have you ever had a day where it feels like the world is moving too fast and you've been left behind? You wake up with that heaviness in your chest, your thoughts cloudy, and even getting out of bed feels like a battle. It's on those days that the desire to give up screams the loudest. And it was on one of those days that I realized something real. Power doesn't come from never breaking down, it comes from choosing to continue. Even when everything tells you to stop. We think the universe only responds when we're doing well, when we're vibing high, smiling. But the most powerful manifestation I've ever experienced happened when I chose to keep going, even while feeling broken inside. Consistency has nothing to do with feeling at your best every day. In fact, it's born when motivation disappears. It's when there's no more applause, no excitement, no novelty, and still you choose to keep going. That's when I understood. The law of attraction isn't about feeling amazing all the time. It's about returning to yourself day after day, even when your vibration seems to have vanished. And do you know what kept me grounded on those days? A small ritual, simple things that reconnected me with my intention. Lighting a candle and saying, I continue, even without seeing. Opening my journal and writing, today, I choose to trust. Taking a short walk, while thinking, I am guided by the universe. Over time, That ritual became a refuge. It became an answer. And later, it became a miracle. Let me tell you about a pattern I noticed in myself and maybe you'll relate to. Every time I started to get better, I would somehow pull myself back down. It was subtle. A thought like, is this even real? Or a behavior like stopping the things that were helping me, almost like I didn't deserve to keep growing. That's one of the quietest forms of self-sabotage. And it comes from the belief that being too happy is dangerous, that something will surely go wrong soon. Have you ever thought like that? This kind of thinking needs to be healed with practice, with presence, and most of all, with the courage not to abandon yourself again. Because the universe doesn't reward perfection, it responds to persistence. You know why so many people say manifestation doesn't work? Because they try it once and expect immediate results. But the universe wants consistency. When you repeat an intention with truth, faith, and aligned action, you're telling the universe, I'm taking this seriously. And it was only when I stopped doing things once in a while and started living with intention every day that things truly began to shift. A new client showed up even though I hadn't been looking. An email came through with an offer that used to feel impossible. A friend appeared out of nowhere with an idea that felt tailor-made for me. None of that was coincidence. It was response. A 3-step technique to maintain your frequency. A simple technique I still use to this day. Wake up with intention before grabbing my phone. I look at the ceiling and think, today, I choose to create a day aligned with who I want to be. Micro victory. At the start of the day, something small. Making the bed, taking a shower with music, making a smoothie. That tiny win gives your brain the signal that you're in motion. Nighttime review. I close my eyes and ask, what did I do today that brought me closer to the reality I want to manifest? It might sound simple, but this repetition builds structure. And structure is what holds the energy of manifestation. Even on hard days, there was a day when I told myself, that's it. This isn't working. I'm done. I closed my journal, blew out the candles, and stopped writing. For days, I distanced myself from everything. But something kept bugging me, as if the universe was there, just waiting. Then I opened an old book without any specific intention, and the page landed on a sentence. Keep going. What you want is closer than you think. I cried, not because of the sentence itself, but because I knew it was a sign. I started journaling again that same day, lit the candle again, moved forward again even though I was trembling inside. And guess what? Things started flowing again. Because manifestation doesn't need dramatic gestures. It needs tiny acts of faith. One thing that helped me tremendously was writing as if what I wanted had already happened. I'd take my journal and write, today was a beautiful day. I received an offer that made me smile. I felt valued. I'm at peace. I woke up with energy, had a delicious breakfast, and walked quietly in the morning. My bank account is balanced. I pay bills with ease, and there's plenty left to live freely. This practice activates the already is vibration, and that's one of the most powerful frequencies for aligning with the law of attraction, because the universe understands. If you're vibrating as if it's already real, you're ready to receive, yes. Even saying it out loud many times while washing dishes or walking alone. I talk to the universe. I say things like, "Thank you for reminding me I'm not alone. I trust you." Even when everything feels still, show me the next step. I promise I'll take action. It might sound crazy, but these conversations are like affirmations with soul. They create a direct connection, and manifestation happens more easily. So if today you're feeling distant from your faith, your strength, or your ability to keep going, remember this: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. You know why so many people say manifestation doesn't work? Because they try it once and expect immediate results. But the universe wants consistency. When you repeat an intention with truth, faith, and aligned action, you're telling the universe, "I'm taking this seriously." And it was only when I stopped doing things once in a while and started living with intention every day that things truly began to shift. A new client showed up even though I hadn't been looking. An email came through with an offer that used to feel impossible. A friend appeared out of nowhere with an idea that felt tailor-made for me. None of that was coincidence, that was response. Here's a simple technique I still use to this day. 1. Wake up with intention before grabbing my phone. I look at the ceiling and think, "Today, I choose to create a day aligned with who I want to be." 2. Micro victory at the start of the day, something small. Making the bed, taking a shower with music, making a smoothie. That tiny win gives your brain the signal that you're in motion. 3. Nighttime review. I close my eyes and ask, "What did I do today that brought me closer to the reality I want to manifest?" It might sound simple, but this repetition builds structure. And structure is what holds the energy of manifestation even on hard days. There was a day when I told myself, "That's it. This isn't working. I'm done." I closed my journal, blew out the candles, and stopped writing. For days, I distanced myself from everything. But something kept bugging me, as if the universe was there, just waiting. Then I opened an old book without any specific intention, and the page landed on a sentence: "Keep going. What you want is closer than you think." I cried, not because of the sentence itself, but because I knew it was a sign. I started journaling again that same day, lit the candle again, moved forward again even though I was trembling inside. And guess what? Things started flowing again. Because manifestation doesn't need dramatic gestures, it needs tiny acts of faith. One thing that helped me tremendously was writing as if what I wanted had already happened. I'd take my journal and write, "Today was a beautiful day. I received an offer that made me smile. I felt valued. I'm at peace. I woke up with energy, had a delicious breakfast, and walked quietly in the morning. My bank account is balanced. I pay bills with ease, and there's plenty left to live freely." This practice activates the already is vibration, and that's one of the most powerful frequencies for aligning with the law of attraction, because the universe understands. If you're vibrating as if it's already real, you're ready to receive. Yes, even saying it out loud many times while washing dishes or walking alone. I talk to the universe. I say things like, "Thank you for reminding me I'm not alone. I trust you." Even when everything feels still, show me the next step. I promise I'll take action. It might sound crazy, but these conversations are like affirmations with soul. They create a direct connection, and manifestation happens more easily. So if today you're feeling distant from your faith, your strength, or your ability to keep going, remember this: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Have you ever felt drained just by being in certain places or around certain people? You woke up feeling good, but after one negative conversation or hurtful comment, everything fell apart. That's because you're not always the one in low vibration. Sometimes the environment around you is heavy, and if you don't learn how to protect yourself to keep your vibration strong, the universe starts receiving mixed signals. You start vibrating what doesn't even belong to you, and that's when manifestation gets blocked. For a long time, I didn't understand why my positive thinking practices worked so well until I left the house. I'd meditate, write, visualize, but just one interaction with a negative person would undo everything. The truth is, you absorb what you're surrounded by, and if you're surrounded by complaining, scarcity, criticism, and fear, there's no use trying to vibrate love, abundance, and trust. The universe picks up what you're actually broadcasting, not what you wish you were. I remember a phase in my life when I was deeply involved with a group of people who constantly criticized others. It seemed harmless, just jokes, venting, normal talk. But I would walk away from those conversations feeling drained, inferior, heavy. Only when I distanced myself did I realize my vibration was being shaped by spaces that didn't belong to me. That's why the first step to keeping your manifestation energy active is to protect your energy like it's gold. You can't live in isolation, but you can build such a strong internal field that no external situation can knock you down. Here are 4 habits that help me to this day. Daily word shield. Each morning, I choose one word. It could be clarity, confidence, presence, and I repeat it mentally as a shield. Today, I vibrate presence. Nothing external will take that from me. Nature connection. I can't always get to a park, but even a small plant at home helps. The universe communicates through nature, and being close to it reconnects you to the original frequency of creation. Intentional silence. Sometimes, instead of reacting to criticism or conflict, I just breathe and stay quiet. Silence is a direct portal to the universe. Strategic distancing. You don't have to cut anyone off, but stepping away from those who drain you isn't selfish, it's vibrational survival. Have you noticed how we get used to chaos? TV on all the time, negative news on a loop, social media full of comparison. Then we wonder why it's so hard to manifest peace, clarity, direction. Manifestation requires space, and noise takes that space away. Since I started setting daily moments of disconnection, avoiding bad news, silencing notifications, my intuition became clearer. I started to feel the universe speaking to me through the smallest details, and that's priceless. Here's how I created my realignment routine. It's simple, and it works even on busy days. Morning. I wake up and sit in silence for 2 minutes. Just breathe. I say out loud, today, I manifest ease and focus. I read 1 page of a book that uplifts me. It could be The Power of Now. Think and grow. Rich. or anything that raises my frequency. Afternoon, a conscious pause 5 minutes without my phone, just looking out the window and noticing my body. I ask myself, what am I vibrating right now? Night, I write down 3 things that brought me joy today. I close with, thank you, universe. I continue to choose alignment. This small routine keeps me centered even when the world outside spins too fast. There will come a time when you'll have to choose, follow your truth, or please others. And it's in that choice that your frequency is defined. Because when you pretend to be something just to fit in, you distort your vibration, and the universe can no longer recognize you clearly. I lived that. Out of fear of rejection, I tried to mold myself to be more accepted. But the more I did that, the further I felt from myself, and the harder it became to manifest anything. The day I said, enough, I will respect myself above all, was the day doors started opening. Sometimes we forget, but you have permission to walk away from what weighs you down. You have permission to not reply immediately. You have permission to say no to what doesn't feel right, and the more you respect yourself, the more the universe understands you're ready to receive what you truly deserve. The law of attraction works best when you're aligned with your essence, not with others' expectations. Grab a pen and paper and answer this. What environments do I go to that drain me? Which people inspire me to be better? What habits can I create to keep my energy clean? Then, write one sentence that sums up your commitment to yourself. Here are some examples. I choose to be where I'm nourished, not where I'm drained. I allow the universe to remove what no longer elevates me. I manifest relationships that respect my light. Let that phrase be your reminder. Stick it on your mirror. Read it every day. So, if today you feel like something or someone is draining your light, remember, it's not the universe ignoring you, it's you maybe listening to voices that aren't yours. Because visualization is just the beginning. The universe moves with those who move. Have you visualized your dream life? Done your affirmations? Felt the vibration? But things still seem stuck. I've been there. And I learned that manifestation is only complete when action comes into play. The universe doesn't just respond to what you want, it responds to what you do with what you want. And sometimes, what's missing isn't clarity, it's courage. Maybe you're waiting to know how everything will unfold before you begin. But here's something that changed everything for me. The path only reveals itself to those who walk it. It's like walking at night with a flashlight. You can only see 2 steps ahead. But as you keep walking, more of the path becomes visible. Manifestation works the same way. You visualize, you feel it, you align, and then you act, even if you don't know the ending. Ever notice how we pretend we're waiting for the right time, but really we're frozen in fear? We say, I'll start when I have more time. When the money comes in, I'll invest. Once I feel more prepared, I'll do it. But the truth is, fear disguises itself as logic. And while you keep convincing yourself that you're getting ready, the universe is just waiting for your yes. If you truly believe you deserve what you want, then you need to start acting like someone who already lives that reality. Want prosperity? Treat your current money with respect. Want true love? Start treating yourself with the love you wish to receive. Want a lighter life? Start removing what weighs you down. That's vibrational coherence. And the law of attraction becomes stronger when your actions confirm your intentions. Here's what worked for me. I wanted to do meaningful work, help people, be free. I visualized it every day, but I wasn't taking action until I started small. I created a little corner in my room that was just mine, even if it was tiny. I wrote down one small task each day. Record a video, make a call, study for 15 minutes. I celebrated each action with a thought. This is part of my new reality. Those simple steps broke the cycle of inertia, and the universe responded. Because when you understand that you're not chasing a destination, but choosing to live a new way, everything shifts. Manifestation has no finish line. You don't think positively for a week and fix your whole life. You choose to live aligned with what you want to attract every day. And if today it feels far away, remember, every major transformation begins with an invisible step. So grab your journal and write. Today, I'm ready to. I manifest. I act with intention when. Examples. Today, I'm ready to live with lightness. I manifest a balanced and prosperous routine. I act with intention when I silence the chaos and listen to my heart. Read this out loud. The universe hears you. And more than that, you begin to hear yourself. Many people freeze because they think they need to discover their life purpose before taking action. But let me share something that set me free. Your purpose isn't a place you arrive at, it's what you do with presence right now. When you act with love, truth, and awareness, you're already living your purpose. Whether it's a conversation, a piece of writing, a meal you prepare, your light manifests when you move with intention. The universe responds faster when your actions match your belief. It's no use saying you want peace while feeding chaos, or saying you want freedom while clinging to the fear of failure. Conscious action is faith in motion. It's saying, I don't know everything, but I know I deserve more. So I start today. Let me challenge you. In the next 24 hours, choose one action that represents the life you want to manifest. It could be setting up a corner of your home like it's your dream workspace, sending that message you've been putting off out of fear, waking up 30 minutes earlier to write, meditate, or plan. But do it with presence, and before you start, say, this action represents my yes to the universe. Then watch. Signs will come. Now tell me, what will be your first step today? Write it in the comments. Today, I choose to act with intention. And if this video stirred something and you like it, share it with someone who needs this. And subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell, because every week I'll bring you a reminder. You are already ready. You just need to say yes.